Suck. Call to order. Parks and Recreation meeting, March 2nd. Mr. Sharris, can you do the roll call for us, please?
Certainly. Wade Pollock,
Here.
Peter Lake,
Here.
Caitlin Foy,
Here.
William Postic is not here, and Desiree Tomasco.
Here.
And we'll have a moment of silence. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Item 4.1, consider approving the agenda. Do we have a motion to approve the agenda from last month
So moved.
or this month? A second? Second. The motion is approved. Public comment for agenda items only. Hearing none. Item 6.1, consider approving the minutes from February 2nd meeting. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
A second?
Second.
The motion is approved. Item 7.1, Public Works update. Mr. Sharris, can you provide an update?
Yeah, thank you. So very quickly, during the month of February, Public Works spent about 160 hours in the park system, which represents 2 visits a week. We don't do 3 visits during the winter because there's not as much activity. But we go in, check for trash, check for the condition of everything twice a week. We also did about 70 additional hours just at Brookside Park working on tree work. There were trees that had to come down in the top. They were ash trees, but we've been working at the top of the hill, and that represented about 70 hours worth of work. We worked with the Shade Tree Commission on that, the township arborist, and we've been working to clean that area up. The shades for Brookside Park have been ordered. So as soon as I get a delivery date, I'll let you know, but that is in process. We'll get that installed as soon as they come in. We're looking, I did get some quotes on new backboards at the Newby Park basketball court. And it took a few times, but we got some that are looking pretty favorable. So I'm thinking we're probably going to wind up replacing those basketball court backs there. During one of the inspections, unfortunately, the brand new mirror at Newby Park, the playground set, was vandalized, but fortunately they were able to clean everything off of it. So it's okay again, but it took about a week. During the month, we also installed new signage at the Paper Mill House. So even though the Paper Mill House, I bring it up usually each time, that the Bartram Bridge, because they are township properties, they're not parks proper, but they are spaces where people go, and there's certainly a sense of recreation there. So the Paper Mill House has a historic sign on it that talks about the property and talks about the mills that used to be along Darby Creek there. So we put new signage up, and that was during the month of February. And then we've done, because the winter weather has been very favorable this year, we've been out doing a lot of landscaping work. So actually, in addition to the hours of just doing inspection work, we've been doing landscaping and brush clearing work at the Paper Mill property, Newby Park, Brookside Park a lot, and the Meadow Preserve. And that is what I update you on. Be happy to answer any questions if you have any.
So the tree removing was that up that pathway?
Yes, so
It's
at
like
the
a-
very, very top of the hill, on not the playground side of Brookside Park, the other side, it gets head up the hill toward Bryn Mawr Avenue. So at the very top there, one of the neighbors who lives on Bryn Mawr Avenue that backs up to the park called in to express concern about one of the trees that was up there. So we went up with the arborist, and unfortunately he identified, I think it was 8 trees that were in decline. And he said, you know what, you should really take these trees down. They're not going to be safe much longer. So we went to the Shade Tree Commission with it. We got the approval, reluctantly we asked, reluctantly they gave it, but they were a hazard. So we took those 8 trees down, And it took quite a bit of time to get equipment up there and ship them up and
Oh, yeah.
those kind of things. But it was park work.
Just so I have this correct, George, all 70 hours were at Brookside for tree removal?
Yes, so the 70 hours that I referenced at Brookside was for the tree removal work.
And I wanted to say that I walked the Meadow Preserve twice in the last week and a half, and it looks lovely.
Thank you very much.
Very nice.
Thank you. So we do, when I report on, when we go to parks and those kind of things, usually the Meadow Preserve, the Paper Mill property, the Bartram Covered Bridge property, a few of the others we'll go to once a week because they're not really active recreation areas. But we do make sure we go down there. We'll trim back the trail a little bit, pick up trash, those kind of things. So thank you for checking it out and giving me the report that we're doing
Yeah,
it.
well, I wasn't checking it out. I was exercising. I wasn't checking on you, but I did walk in. It's like, wow, this place looks awesome. So
Yeah,
very
it's a
nice.
beautiful place. And there's again, there's a beautiful master plan for that space that we're looking forward to that eventually being implemented.
Yeah, I enjoy it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Moving on to old business, item 8.1, discussion and possible action regarding the chalk art event at Newby in April of 2023. So I think Caitlin has reached out to the chalk art artist. Give us an update.
Yeah, I reached out, but I didn't connect with her, so to be determined.
So the event is actually scheduled, I believe, for
It's for April 1st before our next meeting.
so I'm not sure how we would handle action for that. I think that we voted on approving it possibly, but if we don't have a chalk art artist, it's not going to be as fruitful.
Well, and I think that the board, approved the project, approved if the chalk artist is available. So I think, if Caitlin continues to reach out, we'll make those arrangements, finalize them. I don't think that's problematic. I think you've done what you needed to do. And, again, I think Caitlin and maybe one other person can work with township staff and we can get everything together.
Okay.
I guess I should follow up. I mean, do we think there's a concern that the chalk artist might not be there?
Well, I emailed and I haven't heard back from her, so I'm a little concerned.
Yeah, so I would say reach out again. I mean, I can also
will.
reach out
I
if,
will, yeah.
I can reach out again as well if you need to, and we can figure it out. And we can come up with, if we wind up needing a substitute, we
Well,
can try to.
I think we have a plan B
Yes.
that we can just come together and Wade has some artistic skills that he can share and
So I've taken, there's some sites online and you can get characters. So I started doing them last summer for my granddaughter in our driveway, and they're actually not hard to do, and they come out pretty cool.
It's
Mhm.
great.
Yeah, Peter did stop and see, yes.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
So, that's an option as well. And then we
what do
just-
you charge, Wade?
Can you just explain to me what exactly happens? So the chalk artist comes, draws a general outline and they color it in? The
She,
children?
it's that,
Okay.
and
Because I'm good for a heart.
it's, yeah, some of it was for them to color in,
Okay.
and some of it was just, she did some chalk art like leading up to the basketball court at Newby, like she did like a little alien where the parking
Okay.
was, and it's supposed to be more engaging than just looking at like chalk art, but like, there was loose pieces of chalk so the kids could just start coloring stuff in or draw
Okay.
their own. But she had done a few other things too, and now I can't remember.
She did sports, balls.
There was a sports
Yep.
section.
Basketballs,
She did, I think, like 4 different kind of
stations. They were like stations.
Stations
Yeah,
for the children to play or for them to color in or just to look
Both.
at,
Both.
all included. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm having a hard time envisioning this. Maybe I could just Google, what should I Google? Just chalk art at playgrounds or just,
Or just, I can probably send you, I probably have a picture or two in my email.
if you get
that I
it,
could
yeah,
forward it,
yeah.
yeah.
If not, I'll just wait to see. So as a committee, do we hold ourselves, do we as a group make ourselves available for these days? Or do we select like, our 2 of us at like one event and a few of us at a different event? How do we usually handle that?
Whoever can show up usually.
Okay.
we Go with.
Okay,
Yeah, and fortunately, if I can interject real quick. Fortunately, this isn't the kind of event that you're making decisions at or anything. At that point, you're helping and working. So there's not a worry about,
Okay.
more than two people being in one place at one time.
Okay, all right, great. Thank you.
George, can we do, in the budget pretzels and water ice like we did last year? It was pretty minimal.
Yes,
for
we
cost.
can. And I had budgeted for that.
When did they cut the checks? When do I need to have that turned in? For this month?
Let me check on the date. I'll get back to you. The other option is if whoever accepts credit card, we can have a credit card available for that day.
Okay.
But otherwise, I'll find out when the board meeting is that we need the check cut.
They do accept credit card, but would you go?
I would need to go and do that, which is fine. I could do that.
All right, well, whatever's, we can figure it out, whatever's easier.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we've got two options. So
I just had a question. Is the rain date the next day?
Yes.
On the second. Okay, thanks.
Just for advertising this, I'm going to sort of update, I might just use the sign from last year and just update it with the date, and then I'll send it to Steve for approval, and Steve, maybe if you can do a couple like color copies or something, we can put it around like we did last year and get the social media with it.
Oh, and I'll hang it all the parks unless you want to put it in the communication. I can just get sticks at the building and put them in with laminated sheets, if that works.
yeah, so there's some of the parks have the little kiosk boards.
Yes.
Greer Park has one. Drexel Lodge has one. Actually, the Goshen Trail has a couple of them. So, we could put them there. Otherwise, we could do some of the sticks and those kind of things.
And social media, I'll send it out to the two elementary schools that are there, and I'll send it to St. Annie's as well.
Great, I can send it to Garrett's Way.
Okay. And then we'll have the library put it on the electronic board and advertise it for us. Item 8.2, discussion and possible action regarding the Family Fun Day event at Drexel Lodge Park. So we met with the Railroad Museum last night and discussed a lot of the options, and one of the things that came up was having a rain date for the 7th, the next day, which makes sense. I did reach out to the band, see if they would be okay with that. And if they are, I'll reach out to the petting zoo as well. And so we would have a rain date of the very next day. Hopefully that works out on Saturday. We won't have to do it, but it's probably a better option for us because, we've collected money from people and we just want to get through this.
Sounds good.
I don't have my notes with me right now. What date do we have that for?
It's for May 6th and the rain date is May 7th.
Thank you.
And if anyone knows of any volunteers that want to help with that, we would love to have, the more the merrier.
Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to be there. I have a memorial service to attend up in Allentown for my daughter-in-law.
Sorry.
Yeah, Pete had cancer. But it was when I suggested that I'm going to go to the Family Fun Day, no, you're not.
Sorry.
No, yeah, but that's my priority.
Sorry to hear.
Yeah, sure.
Absolutely. If we want to get a little bit of structure on what kind of volunteers we need, I could go to the Interact Club at the Marple Newtown High School, and they usually need service hours
Oh,
for
Great.
different honor societies, as well as students that just sign up for volunteer just to get community service for college applications. So it's just best for me to say, okay, we need 3 people at this time or 5 people at this time. So if we want to get together and talk about what our needs, I can try to work on that.
So we would have, there's going to be food there. So, if someone could help with the food, there's going to be giveaway bags. So someone would need to help with handing out the giveaway bags. They would have to stay there until they're gone.
Okay.
Maybe someone to help manage the line for the petting zoo,
Yeah.
because there's probably a few people
Yeah.
per.
How many people would you say for food?
3.
I would say 3. Yeah.
Right? What are the hours we think we would need them?
And
So I would say, if the event starts at 10, we would want them there at 9.
right.
Okay, so 9 to 4, so we
Yeah.
can, usually they work 2-hour shifts. If we wanted 3 people for food. Would we be serving food the whole 10 to 4, the whole 6 hours, or is food just kind of like,
I would say, I would recommend maybe some people 10 to 12 and then some people 12 to 2.
10 to 12?
See if
Okay.
you can get 2 groups.
Okay, so 2 groups of 3, 3 from 10 to 12 and 3 from 12 to 2. And then giveaway back that, usually they probably go pretty quick, I would think.
You-
So
I
one,
Yeah.
think we'll be done by noon with the bags.
so maybe one person
10
from
to 2.
9:30 to
Yeah,
12
that's good.
for the bag giveaway.
Even 10 to 12 would work.
Okay, 10 to 12.
That would
one
give you the
person.
2 hours.
And then petting zoo, wine person, kids tend to like to work in 2s. So maybe we just do, what are the hours of the zoo? It's not there the whole time,
Petting,
is
no,
it?
it's only a 2-hour event.
10 to 12. Or is it 10:30?
That's us. Parking, I don't think we would want kids, helping with the
No.
parking.
Petting zoo, what time did we say it was? Petting zoo?
10 to 12.
10 to 12.
Yes.
So just one shift of 2 kids
Yeah, that would
helping
work,
out the
yes.
line. Okay. Okay, I will work on that and get back to you.
I mean, you could even say 2, right? 2 for the giveaway, 2 for the pet
Yeah.
line. Because then if someone can't make it, we have a backup.
That's a great idea. Okay. Sounds like a plan.
What about Dale's charming star playroom, her craft table?
I think that,
Might that be
Yeah, we-
helpful to
yeah,
have a
we might.
volunteer in case
yeah,
there's a line for that too?
and if you can't get someone to fill all of these roles, then we'll just take whatever we can get.
So what was the last one? The
The
craft
craft
table?
table is 10 to 12:30.
Craft table, and what would that person do?
I just, if there's a line, I think, because Dale's gonna handle, she's the owner of Charming Star Playroom. She's gonna have crafts ready to go for the kids before the band starts up. But just, I think it's just helpful if there's
Craft table
a
helper?
line. Yes,
Okay.
perfect.
Okay.
I just have a question. If the rain date is
The
it
7th,
the 7th? That's a Sunday, right?
Yes.
yes.
So a lot of people are probably gonna be in church in the morning. So we have to rethink hours, maybe. I'm not sure, or just go with it.
I think maybe we go with it.
Okay, and just whoever comes, they come when they come.
Yeah, that was actually at the meeting last night with the Railroad Museum. That was a concern.
Mhm.
The problem is if we have to advertise a separate hour
Right.
set,
Right,
it could get
That's
very
gonna
confusing.
confuse people.
Yeah, I
Right.
just think that between 10 and 12, there won't be as many people there if we have the rain date.
Sure.
And I don't think there's many alternatives left. So busy with everything.
Yeah, we want to get this thing in.
Yes.
1 year. Some year. My son works at Pomfret School and lives in Pomfret, Connecticut. We're doing a scholarship thing through the parks. Recreation Scholarship opportunity. Just maybe for next time.
Thank you.
You want to add this to the agenda next
Yeah,
up?
the next. For the scholarship, helping out the township.
Item 8.2, item 8.3, discussion and possible action regarding the opening of the Bocce Ball courts. So I think George and I met with Stephen Stardy, and he is going to provide us with some shrubs, bushes that are similar to the ones that are there and that they'll be installed. But I think George has other information as far as what else is going to happen before now and then.
Right, sure. So the benches came in. We have to assemble them and install them and finish the horseshoe pit, just getting the pipes in there. We ordered scoreboards for the 2 bocce ball courts. So they're going to be on their way shortly, and we finally got the sign, basically the welcome sign that talks about the history of bocce ball and some of the rules and those kind of things. So that's ordered. So that'll all be in, well before April.
Do we have a date for that? The dedication?
We didn't. We just said not before April.
Okay.
That was the date.
Now, I know that Rich Enale from Marple Newtown Recreation asked if he could meet me out there, and I'm guessing he said when the leagues are getting ready to start playing again, he would work with us as to, when a good opening date would be for them. And then, we can decide when the actual official ribbon cutting, if you want to call it, would be for it.
So one of the things that we've been asked to do is provide photos to the township, I think for Steve, for social media. And Desiree is volunteered to take that role on as much as she can. So is that something you want twice a month or once a month, or how often do we want to do that? Twice a month. And okay, so the bocce ball courts, I think, would be a great picture, but I guess we should wait until they're fully,
Yeah, fully planted and fully, installed and all those kind of things. Yeah, again, that's all going to be happening within the next few weeks.
Does anyone have any suggestions for Desiree as far as what we should take photos of?
Well, when we know when the ribbon cutting will be, I think that'll be
For that one, yeah, but for the current month, I'm thinking maybe Brookside looks, like very nice these days. That's probably a good picture to take there. But one of the things that Steve Neese is concerned about is if we take pictures with people in there, we have to have them sign an authorization to have them in the picture.
Yep.
So is there an authorization form for that?
I would have to investigate that. Because I know that is a challenge. I suspect the school district has the same challenge when they would deal with pictures in the schools and those kind of things. So we may reach out to the school district even and see if they have a standard waiver or something.
We do have a standard waiver. It's pretty simplistic. So yeah, I think that would cover even if I had a couple of copies in a little manila folder with me and I went and took a picture and there was a child in it, that it would, first of all, when I do that, I ask the parent first, said, hi, I introduced myself. Would you mind, can I take a picture of your child going down the slide? And if they say no, thank you, then you're just graciously say, okay. And if they do, it's like, I have a form if you want to sign it, it might be on social media. So it could just all be a one include, we have to track down the person after I take the picture.
Mhm.
Kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, I think as long as we have the backup that, we had permission, then I think we're good.
Do you want me to reach out to the district for a copy of that and provide it to you guys?
If you could, that would be great because I'm going to call the main office over there, but
Okay.
folks better than I do.
Okay, so I'll get the waiver and provide it to the township, and then you guys can adjust it as you want, and then you can give it to me, and then I'll carry it around. So the 2 photos a month, what if I get them with nobody in them, just kind of, I did a nice, on a nice day, a quick loop around and took a few pictures. And then Steve, I can provide you with, a handful of pictures and you can pick a couple things to put in on social media. Is that what we're working on? Okay, great. How about pictures for the township publication that gets mailed? Okay, so that goes to you also. Okay, great, thanks.
Can I suggest taking a picture of bathroom over at Drexel Lodge Park?
Sure,
There's one that says everyone is welcome here.
okay.
And the tree plantings that we did last year at Brookside as
Brookside.
well. I don't know if you just want to concentrate on one park at a time, might be easier for you.
I don't know. I'm like, I don't know. I think any pictures are nice. I'll go wherever you guys want. It's all easy and close. So the bathrooms, the trees at Brookside.
Yeah, last year we put in, how many trees?
I think it was
75?
70 some trees. Yeah.
Okay,
And they're white tubes, a lot of them
Yeah.
in those white tubes you see sticking up, they're in there, and then there's some other bigger trees that are in other screened
Up
in.
on the hill.
Yes,
okay.
There are a few that were large when we brought them in and they're freestanding. So there's some that you could get some pictures of that would be,
Okay.
not in the tubes.
How about a picture of the sign of the nature trail at Drexel Lodge Park?
It's just to let people
Yeah.
know that there's a
There.
trail there,
Yeah.
because, yeah. That should be our goal, is to make people aware of those things that are there that they're not aware of.
Say that again, Desiree.
A picture of the nature trail sign at Drexel Lodge Park, so people can know that's there. I have a question. Do we know if someone were to go down and go across the bridge and just walk the loop and do like one complete loop? If that, anybody we could measure that so people could say, okay, it's 2/10 of a mile. So if I walk the loop 5 times, I got a mile in. Anyway, we could do that. And my husband has like a landscaping measuring wheel.
Yeah,
That's
like
really
we
good
like the
one.
wheels, but that's a tough, I don't know how the wheel is gonna hold up back there.
There's like a Nike app when you run, it charts
it's-
how far you
Oh,
go. So that might be easier than the
I
like
get one of my kids to do it.
physical therapy.
Is it okay with that if I go to see how far like a loop is, and then, we make a big deal out of it. Maybe it might be interesting for somebody to say, okay, well, at least I did a 1/4 of a mile by walking that loop.
Yeah, and take,
Okay.
have your son go up the highest, because there's some intermediate
Okay,
cut throughs and stuff.
okay, so do the bigger,
Should
we-
loop. Okay.
Loop in park, green trails and greenways, or is that?
Oh, it is. I think it is trails and greenways. So I'll get a measurement and then we can tell them what it is and
Yeah,
work
we can
together
share
on
it.
how to
Yeah.
communicate it.
That's
That's great.
Okay,
I think a picture, I rode my bike over to Meadow Preserve, just where Lissitor ends,
Yeah.
and you look over. I think that would be a wonderful picture.
okay. Yeah, I do too.
When the greenery starts coming.
Uh-huh.
And I don't know if you've ever seen it, just the side note, Dane did a aerial video, drone video
Okay.
of the Meadow Preserve. It
Okay.
is really, really cool.
Really?
Yes, it's online. If you look up Meadow Preserve drone video, you will probably find it on Google.
Thanks.
Okay, thank you.
We're hoping to have him do the one of the murals we're going to do as well.
I think another beautiful place when the grass starts growing and the leaves start coming out is Rear Park, the pond, it just opens up and you can see the playground down there. Just, yeah,
Okay,
There are beautiful views there.
yes, I mean, we have great parks.
I have a few pictures of Greer I could.
okay, that'd be great.
And I, for one, am very, very grateful that you're taking this on, because in the past, like, when we go through our stock pictures of the parks and those kind of things, we actually don't have a lot that's recent. And for somebody with an eye that can get some nice pictures that we can put up like that. That's
Can't promise you I
great.
have an eye, but
I
I'll
think,
do my best.
I think the Newby online, it's the sign of Newby Park, so we'll get some pictures. I think the struggle has been having permission to get kids and family in the pictures, so I took like 2 pictures of the Newby Park event last year, and people's backs were turned, so there wasn't faces in it. That wasn't a good picture, so
Right, okay,
this will be great.
okay,
Thank you, Desiree.
sure.
Yeah, it's just something that's fallen off of our plate because, we're limited as what we can do. Item 8.4, discussion and possible action regarding the Gable Park basketball court mural. So I've been working with George trying to figure out how we're going to make this happen, and he's done a heck of a job. I think he's got everything lined up. We have Karen Can from the high school finally
Oh,
did.
did she-
She got back to us.
Okay,
Yes,
good.
she's very excited. We're gonna have to tone it down. There was a mural that they had designed, but after discussions and considerations, we only will have 2 to 3 days to paint this.
Okay,
We don't think that we would be able to get all of that done.
Was that the mural that the student had come up with?
Yes, and he's actually gone.
He's
now.
probably graduated.
Yeah, I think he went to Episcopal, so he's no longer in their AP
Okay.
class
Is
there.
Karen Can Episcopal or Marple Newtown?
She's Marple Newtown,
Okay.
senior high art teacher.
Okay.
And she actually has a mural club, and that's what this came out of. They
Really?
meet often, and she does murals in the school and other properties. And Some of them, I don't know if you've ever seen them. Some of them are really, really cool.
Yeah.
But like I said, we have to, our expectations are have this done in 2 to 3 days. It's not a lot of time for something that massive. This is the biggest mural she'll probably have ever done. So I made suggestions of using patterning, and she has some other ideas as well. We're gonna meet at the court, try and figure things out. They could possibly just do the border and then color the center and maybe the 2 places where the foul lines come out.
That sounds nice.
And that would be
That
enough,
sounds
yeah.
really Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, just enough to give it a lot of fun and interest.
Keep it simple.
Yeah,
Yeah, and I know Desiree, you had a concern about the foul lines and everything.
Visibility.
That-
I don't, I
Yes,
think
that-
it was,
Bill,
Pete.
Oh.
The
It was
foul
Pete, yeah.
lines, all the regulation lines. that
You'll
are
be
on
able to
there.
see the lines, yeah.
Yes, because, some kids aren't real familiar with basketball. They need those lines there to visibly to help them. So that's something that we asked her to consider as well.
That sounds nice. So will she have that ready to go? Do we need to vote on that? Is that?
No, we're not sure of the date yet.
Okay.
So I will just continue to work with her on the side, and then
Great.
once we kind of firm things up, and I'll keep George informed in the loop. If anyone else wants to know, I think I'll probably let Caitlin know, just because she got involved a little bit last year, and in case something happens to me, she can take it over. It should be fairly simple, and I think that we're gonna be fine. I'd like to look for volunteers from the community to help with getting, whatever the
To
kids
paint.
might need, yeah. Well, the paint, George is gonna pay, the
Oh,
township,
yeah.
they have to paint it anyway, so this is not a whole lot of added cost to the project. But helping the kids get, engaged and find out where they're going, and helping Karen organize them, I think is going to be important for us.
So like the day of the mural painting, you could use a couple of possible, like I could be available, and you just
Yeah.
need some adults available to say,
Yes,
okay, you guys, I think you go over there. I'm like, yeah, you could get the key just a little bit at work, help organizing. Is that what you're
yes,
talking about?
yes, exactly.
Okay.
Just a few of us. I don't think it
Yeah.
will take a whole lot.
Yeah, I'm available.
And now she did mention that she might want to do it as a field trip, like on a Wednesday, Thursday, which
Perfect.
would be best for the court, because
Yeah.
it's not used as much those days. So whatever works for her, I think, is what we'll do.
I have a flexible schedule, so I can be
Okay.
available.
And I'm available all the time as well, and I have some friends that might be able to help.
Great.
So as soon as we have that, we meet with her and we get a sense as to when we're looking to do it. I'll work on getting the contractor scheduled so that we get, first thing, it gets power washed. Any cracks that are in there get filled. It gets 2 coats of basically a base coat. And then we do 1 set of basketball lines on it, so that there's that base to start from. And then once the whole mural is done, they come back and they do another basketball lining of it, so that that's all clean in case anybody, went into the lines and those kind of things.
Do you feel it will take 2 coats of each color?
Well, I was talking the base coat. Now, I suspect it would take 2 coats of each color. That's what I would suspect. But when we're really getting it narrowed down, I'll try to bring the contractor in, because he's going to get the paint for us. We're going to say this is what we're going to order, but he's going to get basketball court paint for us. And, we'll bring him in, and he offered to help.
So item 8.5, discussion and possible action regarding park visitation cards. So Desiree had a great idea to try and get kids to the park. And so we kind of came up with a template that is just out for comment now. Did you have a copy of that, Steve? I sent you?
Yeah, I have it right.
Okay, I'm sorry. There it is. So it just lists the 6 parks, and it has their addresses on them, on the end. And then it just tells the kids, go to the park, see if you see, tell us what you see there. If you see an animal or, playground, whatever it might be. So, I mean, they don't have to put a lot of effort into it, but if, we just want them to go to the park, and they're going to be different ages. So It looks, I love it.
It looks great.
Yeah, it's very, very cute. I like how you put it together.
I love the animals at the bottom.
Yeah.
So cute.
So my only question would be, is the township okay with the addresses that I've used? And do we want the Meadow Preserve on there? Because of
Steve,
access
can you
and these
blow
are
it up?
children.
It's just hard to read it.
So first, I will check on the addresses. I know some of them, we identify the parks as one address or another address. A number of them don't have an address, and the address that winds up getting promulgated is actually a nearby one, or it would be close, or if you put it into your phone, it would get you to that spot, but it doesn't have a real, physical mailing address to it. So let me review them.
Okay,
And that's something we could always tweak, is just the address. The Meadow Preserve, I might need to go back and ask that question.
legally or whatever, I don't know, the access is not good, and I don't know if we want 2-year-olds.
Drop it down.
Yeah, because I'm not sure what age groups would be there, so it's easily removable and whatever the township feels is best. And then Desiree, what are we gonna do with it?
So I haven't read it completely yet. So we were gonna have it once. I liked your idea of not having to have them go to every park. I think you cut it down to
Oh, yes.
3. Was it 3?
Yes,
And then somewhere on there, we need to write that you can redeem it at take your passport, redeem it at the library. And Tom and I were gonna donate fidget spinners and those little pop boards.
Oh.
So they had
Great.
2 choices. You could pick
That's
a
fun.
fidget spinner. I'm open to suggestions if somebody would like something else. I just the last carnival I did, those were the big hits. But open, I just thought 2
That's good. Yeah, it
choices.
says you can return the completed form to the Newtown Township Library for a prize.
Yeah. And then, I'll just have the library, I'll provide them with enough because actually I can kind of rebuy them or take them back and repurpose them at the other carnival that I run. So if they don't, or if we need more, we'll order more. There's not a limit on what, I don't think we get that many kids, but there's not a limit on what we're willing to donate. So.
I was just gonna say, do you need to put 1 per child or 1 per person? Because I don't want to assume that it's just kids. There might be adults who would like to engage in this. Maybe it's an adult with a developmental
I
disability.
think
or
that's fine. I
intellectual
think
disability.
anyone
That-
can
that
redeem
we
for a prize that wants to. I personally don't think we need to put any kind of age
Yeah,
on it.
I don't think we have, hello, children. Maybe if we, just to make it more inclusive.
Yeah.
If
That's
we
a good
just say,
idea.
hello, community members, or something like that.
Mhm. And I think that the nature of the project with the animals on the bottom kind of gears everybody towards the age group it's at, but it's really, doesn't bother me whether you're 24 or 2. You want to do it and redeem it for a fidget spinner, sounds good to me.
right,
Right.
and special needs, that
Adults.
is, yes, that's a great consideration. yes.
Yeah, I like that.
Those are great.
Yeah, cute.
And so I went over to the library 2 days ago and spoke with Angela,
Uh-huh.
and she is really on board with it. She really, really liked it. So we'll have to come up with some kind of box maybe to put the stuff in or.
Whatever they would like, I could get baskets, I could get, the sterile little bins, whatever size they wanted to keep them in to make it convenient for them and organize whatever I can do to help.
So what,
We just need a date that we would want them by. So when we're gonna put this out, I want to make sure I have the prizes for them and then they can have my cell phone number if they want to kind of order more.
okay. So it's March right now. How about we start in May? Is that good?
Do we want to run it to have an end date like May, like July 30th? Or do we want to run it all summer?
All summer, I
All
think.
summer?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay, so
Maybe right
Labor
before
Day?
maybe right before back to school, Labor Day.
Okay.
It sounds
Okay.
great.
yes.
Yep. So what did we say, May 1st?
May 1st.
May 1st for Labor Day?
Yeah, it's,
Okay.
and Steve, what size poster could we make of that? So that it's visible in the library? I guess they could probably do it, but. Just to, all right. Okay, I'll talk to them if they don't, if they can't do it themselves, I'll come back to you and I'll try and get a hardboard to post it to, and they can put it in a spot that's easily visible.
Mhm.
Great idea, that's right.
That's great.
George, or Steve, you know, that banner maker that we gave you guys? Have you guys plugged that in yet?
I think it was plugged in. I don't know if it's been used. I'm actually not sure. I know it's on the second floor.
Yeah, it needs ink.
Yeah, I don't know what they've done with it yet.
Okay, I just,
Yeah, it's next to the scanner, the big.
yeah, I just didn't know if it was worth, I think was brand new almost. Yeah. So that would be a good banner maker. A big banner maker.
Yeah, you told me that.
You know what, if it starts May 1st, we could hand some out at the May 6th event. We could just have some to hand out. That sounds great.
Oh, yeah, and the library is actually going to be there at the May 6th event for the Family Fun Day, doing a registration drive for the library. And so we can discuss it with them there and give them. Yeah, so they'll have everything by then. Great idea, yeah. Item 8.6, update and possible action regarding bat boxes at Brookside. I went and visited them again today. There are carpenter bees. Now. Yeah, attacking them. There's wasps inside. There's no signs of any bats. So I'm gonna go clean them out this next week. And we discussed possibly planting scented night blooming scented flowers. Caitlin did a little bit of research to plant underneath of them that should be maintenance free for the township and hopefully attract the bats. If anyone wants to do any research on how we might be able to attract more bats, we'd be welcome to any ideas.
And Wade, if you let me know when you're planning on going over and cleaning them out, we'll have a couple people go over and help you.
Okay.
I had a list and I forgot it with me tonight, but I can get it and send it to you, or maybe could be sent to EAC if they have any thoughts about
Oh, yeah.
plannings to attract bats to the bat boxes.
If you just want to send it to me, I'll send it to
Great.
them. I don't want you to.
Great.
You got a million things going on. And the only other thing I want to talk about were the stream cleanups, because they're not on here and they're coming due soon. So March 25th is Drexel Lodge Park through the CRC program. It's advertised by the CRC if anybody wants to.
What date is it?
March 25th, from 10 to 12, I think. 9 to 11:30. That's the first one.
Which one is that, Wade?
That's Drexel Lodge Park.
That's
through
the
CRC.
CRC one.
Yes.
Okay.
I signed up for it already. It's usually a pretty good turnout. There's usually 30 people or so.
Great.
Mike McGraw who's a local biologist, captains that, does a great job. I'm going to be going over there. I met with, when I was with Steve Mastardi and George, Steve pointed out that the butterfly bushes are overtaking the butterfly garden. So before they go over and do the weeding for that, sometimes they do that during the stream cleanup. That's why I'm bringing it up. I'm going to cut down the butterfly bushes to where they need to be per Steve Mastardi, who knows. So that they're just done. Then the other two events are April 15th, Saturday at Greer Park from 9 to 12. And Brookside is going to be for the police department. I'm just waiting to hear back from them to see if usually they have the officers go there. They're kind of standalone, and then just one of us should probably attend that as well. Marty Milligan captains that, and that's done through the DCVA. And then the Brookside one, this is our third annual Brookside cleanup, which has been tremendous. The response from it has just been tremendous.
Wait, is it third annual Greer Park? Because Brookside's been going on for longer, right?
Yeah, Brookside's been 20 years.
What's the date on the Brookside one again?
They're both the 15th.
The 15th.
Yeah. So we would like to have ideally one of us attend where the police are going to be there, just to help out and answer questions, or
Do we have a
Whatever.
captain for Greer?
I'm the
We
captain
watch-
for
okay,
Greer,
that's
yeah.
what I thought.
I'll go to the Brookside.
The police, okay.
I should be at Greer. Just check my.
Yeah, you can run across the street.
Yeah.
And I was going to reach out to the fire department as well. See if they would be interested in doing the Brookside event with the police,
Sorry, reach out to him.
the fire department.
Oh, that's nice.
So all the emergency people will be there, just kind of stand alone.
Have a friendly competition, Greer versus Brookside, fire versus police.
One of the things I was concerned about there also at Brookside is that there's red twig oak. There, a yellow twig oak or both, and then there's some evergreen shrubs there that are planted around the benches, and they're overgrown every year. George's got to cut them back down to near depth, and then they come back in, and then we do that every year, and they keep encroaching on the bench, and sooner or later, somebody's going to sit and have a stick put somewhere where they don't want it. So I would like to remove what's there, transplant it somewhere, and then come up with maybe something less invasive or less intrusive to put there if we actually need something there. And if we do, put it on the ends of the benches, away from the benches, so that the maintenance is not as much.
We had talked about maybe transplanting those anyway, depending on where the umbrella goes.
Yes,
Shade.
yes.
So that's,
I just thought it'd be a nice opportunity if the policemen are there, because there's not a whole lot to clean up. I mean, they will get some bags and bags, and it's a great job, but as far as feel good, I think planning something is
yeah, that's a great idea.
and we could get better pictures. So you're gonna take pictures. That's your job, Pete, to take pictures of the police department there.
Sure will.
So Wade, if you like, we do have Dave Hilbert, who led the Brookside Park planning last
Yes.
year. We do have him, he's going to be coming back for maybe a day, a week, a day every couple of weeks in Public Works to help us with tree work
Okay,
and those kind of things. So I can get him over there pretty soon to take a look at the plantings that are around the benches and see like, okay, how do we transplant these and try to get a mechanism for that, so that by the time you're ready to actually do it and have volunteers for it, we could be ready to go for it.
okay. If you want to text me, I'll show up and,
That's great.
okay,
That's great. Yeah, you met him before when we were
Yes.
planning it out.
yes. Great guy.
That's a great idea because, even with Greer Park, when we did it the second year, thankfully, there wasn't nearly as much garbage and trash to pick up,
Right.
but I mean, it just didn't take as long. It's over a lot sooner. So I think that's great to plant some.
And eventually, once Greer's done, then we can do some other stuff there as well.
Yeah.
Do you have the time for cleanups?
9 to 12 Greer, and I think it's the same time for Brookside, right?
Yes,
9 to 12, they're both April 15th.
Yep.
And then you have to register through the VCA website.
yes, it helps. It helps them with funding. If you register through CRC or DCVA for any of the events, make sure you do that. It really helps them with funding, and it helps us as well because it makes the events.
Sure.
And
Do you have a website on that? Keith?
Just look CRC. Or you want the DCVA one, that
Yeah.
Brookside, DCVA,
DCV.
it'll come up.
I think it's on their main webpage,
Okay.
park cleanups, and then or maybe it's on the left-hand side, they have a list of dates and parks.
And you know what? The last time I had looked, I hadn't seen some of those signups active yet. So if they're active now, we can we'll do a news post on the website and identify both entities and opportunities for people to sign up. And then Peter, you'll see what the links are because we'll put the links right in for it.
Thanks.
You want me to send you those links, Steve?
Yes.
Okay. And I was going to go over Saturday morning and knock on the neighbor's door to the entrance of Newby to see if he might want to do a mini thing on the 15th, or Joe Pinto. Ask one of those two if they would want to do some kind of mini cleanup at Newby, just to add to it. And if they do, I'll contact DCBA and see if it's not too late to add that on the list as well. But it's not really a stream, it's more or less a feeder stream that does go into the same Darby Creek eventually.
I was just there, there's some trash and stuff, that could use it,
Newby,
yeah.
okay.
If DCVA is unable to register that this year with their list of park cleanups, is that something we could just do ourselves,
Mhm.
or
I think so, yeah.
maybe
There's-
another day, or
There's nothing stopping us. And then next year,
maybe
if we
they
take
can
a
add it.
picture and send them the amount of trash we got there, I'm sure that they would add it. They're looking for people to help them.
George, you're right, you can't register yet through DCVA website.
Oh, CRC you can.
Okay, that's good.
Right, so public comment.
Actually, before we go to
Sorry,
public,
go ahead.
no, before we go to public comment, can we discuss what we would like to see on our one page of the publication from Newtown Township?
Oh, right.
Yeah, what would we like to see on our page? I was hoping to do some kind of image of a playground and more of a bullet pointed about, here are our parks, go out and play. Is there any events that are approved that we can put on there?
When is it
It's
submitted?
It's due the 8th.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
And when does it go out?
it hits mailbox at
April 26th, it hits mailboxes.
give or take.
Okay,
April
But it's due
26th.
it's due the 8th.
Yeah.
6 days from now.
yes, but it should be not difficult to put together. I just want to confirm as a group, what do we need approval from the Board of Supervisors on any of this, or can we put these dates?
So if it's April 26th, we would want the May 6th date on
Right.
there. We would want, I don't think we have any other dates that are confirmed or voted on. Right, so I don't think, did we vote on the September date? I don't think we did.
I mean,
Another
you
way
can reference, even if you don't have the exact dates, you can reference, keep an eye out. There'll be a concert in September if you think you're going to do one.
Okay.
There's going to, the various other projects you think you might be doing. We could just speak broadly about them.
We will have a concert in September.
Okay, so watch for. Okay,
Um,
do we want to mention, so we want to mention, do we need Board of Supervisor approval yet for the visit the parks passport?
I thought we said we were gonna present to them for their March 13th meeting. to the
It's
Board
more
of
notional
Supervisors.
than it is approval. I mean, it's working with the library. I don't think anyone's
Can
going
we
to have.
get that?
Yeah, we'll get it on the agenda for the Board of Supervisors for May 13th, or I'm sorry, March 13th. And then, yeah, it could be just presented. This is what we're doing.
Okay, so can I put that date on what I'm giving you guys on March 8th? Can I put that date?
Oh,
can I
yeah,
put
May
that
through Labor Day,
project?
that's
Okay,
great,
yes,
yes,
yes.
definitely.
Okay,
And
and what exactly do we want to call it?
I think we need to wordsmith the flyer just a little bit. Maybe change the font so that I'm just thinking if like anyone's like low vision, I don't know, just like So it's easier to read.
Like, what do we want to call the actual like program project? We called it here, visit, what did we call it?
Visitation.
Visitation card.
How about like Parks, Newtown Township Parks Passport?
Okay.
We can,
That's the one.
whatever you want.
Township Parks Passport, okay. Got it.
And we're going to present at the Board of Supervisors on the 13th for that now. Do you want to be there, Desiree, or?
On the 13th? I
It's a
can be there,
Monday.
I can be there, yeah.
Okay.
So are you there also? Or you want me to just?
I'll be there. Just-
Okay,
If you want to
I need
present, I'll
some-
be there.
I need support. It would be my first time.
Okay, I'll be there and
We'll
support
make
you.
posters.
Okay.
Well, and you
Um,
could talk about some of the upcoming things that are happening. It
Well,
could be
I
a
think-
little bit of a
I
broader.
think we were slated to talk about the Parks Passport and were we supposed to present on the shades going to Brookside Park?
So I did that on your behalf at the last
great.
meeting so that I could get them ordered.
Great.
I said this was the recommendation of Parks and Rec, and they were great with it.
Awesome.
Okay.
And the mural, I don't know that we would be ready to present for the mural just yet.
Yeah, it would be nice to present a sketch or a design.
And
When you do
I did
that.
ask her to provide something that we would need to provide to the supervisors, so that won't be for the 13th. Hopefully it'll be for the 27th or whatever it works out to.
Do we want to just present when we have the mural and do the two things together? Like when Stephen East last month said that it would be nice if Parks and Rec could, and all the different committees could kind of take turns presenting to the
You're
board.
ready to.
But do we want to just, this isn't going to start till May anyway.
Oh, sure.
Do we want to just do this, present the Parks Passport and the mural once we have it and kind of bundle it together?
At
And
the
just
second
wait a-
meeting, right?
The 27th.
Yeah, because then you could talk about the Family Fun Day, although they know about it, but you could mention it again.
All right.
But does that make it in time for me to provide the one-page passport, like the bullet, that there's gonna be a passport? What? to the-
I mean, I would.
That's enough time, right?
It's enough
Okay,
time,
okay.
and I don't think there's any issue with the passport. I mean, you know,
Okay.
it's almost a courtesy that you're sharing with them. These are some of the things going on. This is a new project that's going on with it.
One more, so one last question was that Steve East and I talked about possibly putting the passport itself as its whole own page in the publication, and then people would just tear it out. So. But so again, something we may want to address with him over the next week, whether there's room in the publication for that, whether he still wants to do it, because we could put like the front could be the passport, the back could be these dates, Family Fun Day, 6th and 7th.
Mhm.
You know, this is what you do, the shades for the Brookside Park, here's the park location, don't forget the nature trail.
I mean, I think that's great.
Yeah. it
Yeah.
is.
So that's kind of, I think, what he and I talked about to try to make that happen if we could.
So then we'll keep the presentation to the Board of Supervisors for
I
March
think on the
13th.
13th, I think so.
I don't have a preference.
Yeah.
I was just
And then we
thinking.
can
if
always
we're
go, we
bundling
can
stuff.
go back and do the mural.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
We can just talk about it and just,
Yeah, and that we're going to bring you the design before anything's finalized,
Yes.
but I think that's perfect.
all right. So I'll update the passport and send it out. To Caitlin back and forth, and then once we're okay with it, I'll send it to Desiree for any changes you want to, that you think we need in the next few days.
So yeah, and then we'll have it done. I leave on for the, yeah, I need to wrap it up by the 6th. So if you're not done with the passport, you can just get it to the township.
Okay. And George, you'll let me know about the Meadow Preserve and the addresses on this.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll take a look at that.
And thank you for updating the lot situation on 252. Thank you.
You are welcome. We made sure to take care of
Thank
that.
you. Okay, now I'm done. Thank you.
I'm sorry, public comment.
Well, actually, Sheila O'Sullivan Feeney, 120 Beechwood Road, Newtown Square, PA. I'm actually here with two heads tonight. I've been a volunteer for Parks and Rec for years. And this is actually the 7th year of our 2023 Summer Free Fitness Series. And I have 2 incredible things set up for the summer. We'll be doing the free Yoga in the Park series. That'll be Yoga in the Circle Studio every Wednesday at 6 p.m. at Drexel Lodge Park. And we're going to do 6 weeks this year from June 14th to July 19th. And I've already talked with Rich about this. So this will be, a great summer free series for the parks, and that's awesome. I also have another class, and we always like to keep things fresh and kind of especially because these are programs that we work really hard to get free for the community. And I'm always open to any other type of classes, as long as they're free, they're inclusive, and, we try to make as least impact to, the township as possible. The other class I have, and I'm actually coordinating this with Rich and Al from Marple Newtown Leisure Services. So on Tuesday night, they're actually going to start this. Angela Mohan is going to do a 3D movement and fitness class. So Marple Newtown Leisure Services will be starting those classes on Tuesday night, April 25th through May 30th. So I'm going to do segue classes, free introduction classes that will lead right into Rich's classes. And so this summer, we're probably going to do 2 or 3 different ones. I've got that, I've got to pin down those dates for you as soon as Rich kind of firms them up. We're looking to do a 3D fitness. We're going to do maybe a 3D golf fitness, just specifically. And we want to kind of get something, maybe a child type of class or something unique. So we're working on that. And again, these classes will be free. So Tuesday night will be Rich's classes from 6:30 to 7:30. And that's April 25th again to May 30th. And then the yoga, June 14th to July 19th. I did have a question about the pavilion. Will there be any construction on the pavilion during the summer? I know you allocated the funds for that. If that is a.
So if the roof of the pavilion is worked on, I think it's going to be happening during the day.
Okay.
It certainly wouldn't be,
It's
we
nothing
wouldn't need
major?
it.
Okay.
Yeah, it shouldn't be major.
Okay, so all we would need for the yoga classes, and George has done that before, we have the tables moved to the side. I had to do them a lot my last year. If we can coordinate the electric box being open, if we need it, I'll see if they need it. If they don't, we won't. But that was a little bit of a trying to coordinate that with you, and that'd be great. But
So real quick, are the events always taking place in the pavilion, or are they going to take place out in the field?
it depends. The movement class will always be on the field. But what happens is in the event of rain, and sometimes the yoga classes, although we like to do it on the field, if there's any wet or water conditions or dampness to the grass, they have to move onto the pavilion. So even if it's like a dew or a moisture type issue. So what we always do is always plan for it. And remember, these classes are free and they're rain and shine. So if it rained or shined, we go into the pavilion. So I'll let you know about that. But we're really excited because we're coordinating with Marple Newtown Leisure Services, and Rich is thrilled. And we'll look at that. So that's my volunteer for parks. Now, as the EAC perspective, I will actually email you the link, because EAC partners with Parks and Rec for that CRC cleanup, and the one we mentioned at March 25th. I'll send you the link. And if you could actually share that link with your friends, because we really want to have a good showing for the 25th. Also, the EAC is doing a rain gardening weeding. I know that's outside your scope, but you're always welcome. That'll be Saturday, April 8th. Again, on the 15th, EAC is partnering with Parks and Rec for this Greer and the Brookside. Now, this year, you guys are lucky. You don't have to do the Shade Tree EAC Trails Commission, because we're doing our Arbor Day event. That'll be Saturday, April 29th at 9 a.m. And that's going to be at Goshen Trails. So technically, because it's a trails, I can't give, we usually work together with Parks and Rec, but you're more than welcome to attend that. And I did check with Wade that for your May 6th event, the EAC will have a table staff, because we're working with our Green Business Coalition plan. So we're going to make that aware, and anything we can do, talking about pollinators and of that will be helpful. And also, if
I'm sorry, Sheila, will you provide your own?
I'll give you
table?
all this detail.
Do
So
you
you
need
can
a
show.
table or any?
Yeah, we'll get our own table.
Okay.
I mean, if you have one, if not, we'll get it together. But
I'm not sure where we are with tables. We're trying to figure that
yeah,
out.
I figured we're going to be over by the library. because the EAC, they really want us to have a presence at all the functions, so we'll do that. And May 13th, this is an EAC. Again, we're back to the rain gardens at the baseball field and the township building. One thing I know George is going to talk with Wade, you just got that email today from Dave Hoover and George are going to work out. There's the possibility of either March 18th or the 26th, a Gable Park. Dave talked with Cindy and we're going to work on that cleanup. So we'll bring Parks and Rec on that as well.
Okay,
And
That is the maintenance of what we installed
yes.
2 years ago or a year ago over
Yep.
here. Okay.
And so, and Desiree, I would love if we could, I'll send these dates out to Wade, if you're interactive service committee, because we are desperate for help. I mean, there's so much going on. I actually have to have surgery St. Patrick's Day, so I'm going to be down for a bit. So I need help to make sure that this all goes through for perfect. But I'm really excited about our summer program. It's going to be fabulous. I already got the information out. Wade has approved it. George has to approve it, and I'll get you the flyer for that. And I already sent you, actually, Steve, the link for the, I sent you that information for the sharing for you for the Darby Creek, I mean, for the CRC cleanup. Yeah, that came, that was sent out too. So great. I'm looking forward. We always try to work together, EAC, Parks and Rec, we're all together, same purpose and common goal. All right.
Thanks,
Good
Sheila.
luck with your surgery.
Sheila, can you send me those? That was a lot of dates for the minutes. I just want to make sure I have it all. If you,
I just sent them the poster for the exercising,
for the
the
yoga.
one you sent me today.
EAC doesn't look into parts or trail. We always make sure that we put it with the governing body or the facility, you know what I mean?
Great.
So we do the same, and anytime you guys get involved with parks, things or environment. Always ask them together because it's better to have all of us at the table.
Great. Thanks, Sheila.
Thank you. So item 10, items for the next agenda. I talked with Angela in the library about possibly having 5 small mini events at the parks, each of the 5 active playground parks. And one of them will be Steve Mastardi coming over with planting sunflower seeds with kids. And then they would have a book related to farming or flowers, a thin, cheap book that they could give out and do a registration drive. So that would kind of be a free thing. Mastardi's already offered to provide everything for that. And then the other thing is there's a place called Gig Salad. I would advertise on there and ask for, there was one gentleman from West Philly. He did an African-American kind of presentation. He dresses up and he has puppets and it was a really cool thing. And I thought we'd get a book related to that. And perhaps music or it's just something to think about. I wanted to just add it to the agenda. And I was going to put it on Gig Salad, see what comes back. And we'll review it at the next few meetings and then we can make decisions on which way we want to go. I stopped and saw Lisa Burkowski to see if she might be able to have a matching grant available for that. If the township could fund it, they would, I believe, can find us money to match that, or they're going to try and help us find that. And another option would be smaller businesses to provide smaller amounts, and we could advertise for them through it. So.
Could I suggest at one of the park events that you're working on, maybe we have a fire truck come?
So that I'm going to stop and see Harry about trying to have a fire truck at the family fun event.
Okay,
We tried it at the Newby event, but because of parking and just access, it became impossible.
Yeah.
It didn't work out there, but Drexel Lodge is an option. They've had it at the Railroad Museum opening before.
okay, that could we need to have a firefighter with a fire truck to read a fire truck book.
Mhm.
Oh, that is
maybe Drexel Lodge is the place for, 'cause maybe that's a place for a train book, but you could do it, but I don't know, maybe another park, but I thought
Maybe
it'd be really
Brookside?
neat to interact with the library.
Brookside for a fire truck.
Well, maybe the library and Park and Rec can work directly with the fire company and have it at the firehouse.
Oh,
That would be fabulous.
oh, there you go.
Have a tour of the fire.
Oh, that would be really nice.
Good idea, yeah.
Really, it's an amazing place.
If anyone else has any ideas, we'll discuss them at the next meeting, next couple meetings. And then Peter wanted to add, what did you want to add here?
This was a way to get kids, high school kids, I think in particular, to give some, it says down in number 2, community service. And they would write essay, award, total amount of the award is $500. So maybe a way to get kids out volunteering. Just what they did in Poplar Foundation.
We'll add this to the agenda, and if anyone has any ideas of. I don't know where we would get the funding from. We might even be able to reach out to the business association. We can discuss it next month, right? An option.
Also had an alternative pickleball idea.
Oh,
It's
For Drexel or?
funny.
So yeah, I guess we want to add pickleball to the agenda for next month as well. I have some concerns and ideas myself. On that, so we'll add pickleball court, and I guess we're gonna hold off there.
I don't think it would work, but
So we'll add the 5 mini event series, we'll add a scholarship. And
And pickleball discussion.
pickleball
Mhm.
location,
Mhm.
pickleball location discussion in general.
Yeah.
And if anyone else has any items to add to the agenda, just send them before a week before, at least a week before the next meeting, so that we can get them to Steve.
Do you want, I mean, would we need to talk about the May 6th event, or do you think it's gonna pretty much be done by then? Just because it's. You wanna add the as an item?
We can keep that under old business.
Yes,
Because the event won't have happened yet, and
Okay.
we'll make sure that it's on the agenda.
yeah. Yeah, I think we want to keep everything on the old business.
Mhm.
Just add no.
Sounds good.
So we're adjourned.
don't we have